Liberating and Higher Perspectives. This topic is going to help you widen your horizon and let you realize how important it is to keep an open mind to a higher and broader perspective. In turn, you will begin to truly appreciate what it is like to have true compassion towards others because of your wider perspective. Let's not delay and get into this right now. The number one paramount criteria for consciousness evolution is to continuously seek for divine truth, not what was presented to us by the media or news. It is not wise to conclude anything until the information sits well within our hearts. Should there arise any conflicts with what we already knew and can infer with what we heard or read from all sources of media, this is the time to hold your thoughts and keep whatever that came in the drawer of your consciousness cabinet if you are still unsure. We can keep the puzzle pieces we have collected and put it aside until further truth comes along to help us draw to a close what was necessary for us to know at that point of our consciousness level, because truth will be revealed to us according to what we should know when the time is right. What was meant for others may not be meant for you. What you want to know may not be the right time for you. However, what you need to know will come to you in ways that you could never have imagined before. So, stay open and receptive. The most detrimental thing that we could do to ourselves is to believe something which is conflicting to our hearts. Universal laws will continuously bring circumstances, information, people, and in whatever ways for us as a form of giving us the reality check, shaping us in our evolutionary direction. We need to question, contemplate, and think about what we are receiving. There are other times we need to even examine why we are experiencing something different from what we were being told. Life on this 3D physical plane will seem like we are walking through a jungle of information and misinformation. The use of discernment to verify the validity of what we are getting comes to play. However, the problem lies in how to perceive right. How do you know if what you are getting is right or wrong? It will feel something like information verified by another information which came along synchronistically, almost like a coincidence. This coincided with truth revealing itself to you and trying to let you know that this piece of information confirms the next information which you are receiving then. Doesn't this validate the fact that truth confirms truth? And if things like that keep happening to you, then it's no wonder why you are supposed to realize it and begin to ponder and assimilate the information which will give you the truth you are seeking for. As we keep ourselves unprejudiced in receiving information, meeting people or circumstances, until we have a clearer perspective of what the truth is. It's akin to watching things on a higher ground as we make sense of what is before our eyes. For example, if you are just on the ground floor experiencing or seeing things at this level of perception, you can only decipher matter from a horizontal perspective because you cannot see through physical barriers. On the contrary, if you are now on the second floor, you are able to view things on a higher ground and be able to view whatever that is happening on the ground floor, and hence be able to get a clear and right view of the matter. Despite this, we have to understand that as we progress upwards by the correct attitude of humbleness and broad-mindedness, we are not just on the second floor. Now, we will be carried upwards by how much we allow our consciousness level to expand, and the fruit of it will be a much higher perspective of what we did not see previously on lower grounds. This means that as we go higher, for instance, to the third floor, we do not see the ground floor but have a clear view of the second floor also. By the same token, if you are now on the 12th floor, then you can be sure that you are truly seeing much more than when you are on the ground floor. Now, you can see all other levels below it as you are able to see a much clearer and higher view, hence constituting higher levels of perception, equating to higher consciousness level. So, this means that it is imperative to go higher and higher until we reach a level where the true light bulb lights up in our consciousness, which makes up the unshakable foundation of our divine truth. When we are on the ground floor, we are veiled and ignorance leads our lives. We go around doing things thinking we are right and become biased and judgmental in our attitude towards others, never realizing we are blinded by our own ignorance. Our own ignorance will continuously draw difficult lessons to ourselves for us to stop and ponder why things are going wrong for us. Not until we start to question reality, then we can level up in our consciousness and go up higher and begin to be in awe and wonder of how things are orchestrated in such a way for us to learn and grow. We start to be appreciative and guard ourselves in the process of doing the right thing, having the right thought and setting the right intention for a new solution for each problem we encounter. When we level up in consciousness, we become more tolerant of others for their insensitivity, bad behaviors, bad attitude, judgmental attitude towards us, etc. Since we understand more, know more, and hence carry a bigger heart towards them, not holding any unhappiness or grudges in virtue of our right view. An example will be, if you are an adult, would you be upset and fight with a child who is throwing a tantrum? The need to win against a child makes you shy away from yourself when you realize how wrong you are, right? Having a higher consciousness level is parallel to having a bigger heart. It's because you start to realize more, therefore have more compassion and love for them, and will forgive them for their ignorance. You will not hold it against them for things that they do not understand. Everyone's journey is different and at different speeds. Some walk faster, some needed to take the longer route. They just need to experience more and need to learn more in order for them to come to their own realization of their own divine truth. We all draw lessons to ourselves according to the universal law of cause and effect. If others want to create their own karma to learn from it, we just have to take a step back and allow and respect their free will. We just need to be patient, help and guide only when the time is right. It is wrong to force it down on others, but to give time and apply patience. Otherwise, we will draw our own lessons for infringing their free will. We are all learning different truths for our own soul evolution. Nobody is created from a cookie cutter and looks the same or thinks the same. We are made up of individualized experiences, not just from our current life, but many lifetimes. We are quantum entangled in different situations throughout our soul's evolution. Hence, the challenges we face will be a result of our karmic past or our immediate mistakes. What benefits you doesn't mean it will benefit another, or even so at different divine timings. The time to share and help will only come when others are ready, and thus will understand and benefit from what you have to share. The utmost important task at hand is to constantly improve ourselves instead and to level up in our own consciousness. Do correction to our own flaws, and this will contribute to humanity on the collective level. Do not undervalue the power you possess and the difference you can make just by applying what you have learned along your journey. Besides, creating an impact on a bigger scale like this, when you start to analyze reality, self-reflect, and apply all the good things that you learn, you unravel a mystery which you had never been able to break beyond in the past. What seemed difficult to understand previously suddenly click and make sense like never before. Our intuition and senses became activated and heightened. When we go inwards and start to be serious in our spiritual journey, that will be the time we open ourselves up to higher consciousness and embark on a serious path to more abundance, clarity, compassion, and higher wisdom.